organization follow the needs, or you can say organization should follow the needs. In human society, that may not be the case because some at the top may have some interesting idea or weird idea, and he may want to, or she may want to control everything against the law of nature. In that case, organization is not following the needs, but following the needs of the top management or CEO. But in nature, it doesn't work that way. Everything follows the law of nature. So what's interesting is that, let's give an example here. I like Ryokan, who is a Zen monk. He talks about when the butterfly comes, no, that's the other way. When the flower blooms, butterfly comes. Not because of the butterfly comes, flower blooms. Well, it's a synchronicity, sort of, so that in between the flower and the butterfly, there's some sort of a connection, synchronicity, that everything happens as it should. And that follows the law of nature. So in human eyes, it looks like a flower blooms when butterfly comes, or flower blooms because the butterfly comes, or butterfly comes because the flower blooms, whatever the case may be. But in the human society, that synchronicity doesn't happen. Example may be a bureaucracy. There's a good reason to have the bureaucracy because things may go into chaos. But because of the bureaucracy, we people suffer. There's a boundary, the national boundary between America and Mexico, for example. There's a good reason for that. But because of that, some people or many people suffer to go from one to the other nation because there's a need to satisfy their way of living, away from the gangs or the poverty, but look for something meaningful, to be lively, be happy. That's human nature. In the case of the natural situation, things happen, but because of the brain and the ideas that we came up, we start to draw a line, A and B, good and bad, but you cannot look at the whole picture. So that makes the whole process more convoluted, but that's the reason why we want to have a transparency of the needs so that the people can use the wisdom, but within each person, there's a barrier, bureaucracy within each person. I call it the mini-me to describe the situation because in body, you have the kidney and lung and heart and all of that balanced to each other, self-organizing. Each of them I call mini-me or mini-organization. They are all connected to customer-supplier relationship, like a flower and a butterfly. But that exists within us. Therefore, we have this organic balance that we can create. Of course, things may not go well because of cancer or some damage from outside. But within the body, they take care of those as needed. And that there's a wisdom within the body. But when it comes to the mind and the body relationship, there may be a gap in between. Like a mind is trying to take over. This is so important, so I have to do it. Forget about how the stomach hurt or anything like that. Or as a result of the pushing too much more than it's needed because you don't listen to the body, that may create ulcer or even cancer. So the balancing act in multiple dimensions is necessary. Not simple-minded way of approaching things. Like a bureaucracy has to evolve. When there's a need of the people suffering, we listen and figure out butterfly and the flower, human to human. For that, we need higher level or deeper level, higher level intelligence or deeper level of the wisdom, whatever the way you want to call it. And to me, that is the connection to the nature's way, law of nature, law of the universe. We have the ability to listen to the law of the universe because we came from there, from the dust of the universe, to be alive. And that force or the law is prevailing all the time. It's a miracle that we live. And we want to have the miracle applied in human society, communicate each other, flower and butterfly. Of course, there's a pain here and there, natural pain, external pain, internal pain. So it's a complex situation, but if we understand or have an attitude of being sincere and truthful to understand and connect each other beyond the narrow-mindedness, self-centeredness, ego, bureaucracy, all of that may have to go. In our days, we see more of those symptoms of the violence or war or border crossing and many more. Let's try to be wise and try to listen and also learn from nature is the example of the butterfly and flower, so that we can be open-minded, listen to the heart, the way of nature, because that's alive, that's functioning. We need to connect to that, not self-centered narrow-mindedness. Thank you.